What is going on, Blue Jays Nation? Welcome back to the Blue Jays Report, your #1 source for everything happening under the dome at the Rogers Center. I'm your host, and let me tell you, the energy in the city right now is absolutely electric. We are sitting here on March 19th, 2026, and opening day is just around the corner, and the Blue Jays are making massive roster moves. If you thought our front office was done making splashes after the wild off-season we've already had, you might want to sit down for this one. We are talking about a potential trade that would completely shatter the landscape of the American League. Reports are swirling, and the insiders are buzzing. The Toronto Blue Jays are heavily predicted to trade for two-time Cy Young winner Tarik Skubal. Yes, you heard that right. Tarik Skubal, the Detroit Tigers ace, the guy who has been dominating the World Baseball Classic. This isn't just a rumor, this is a tectonic shift in the AL East battle. Grab your coffee, grab your Blue Jays cap, because today we are breaking down exactly what this means for our postseason push, what it will cost us, and how our rotation is shaping up to be the most terrifying force in modern baseball history. Let's get into it. Looking at the roster moves today, we have to start by analyzing the sheer magnitude of what a Tarik Skubal trade entails, and how our recent spring training cuts play directly into this narrative. First, let's look at the situation in Detroit. Skubal and the Tigers are currently facing what John Heyman of the New York Post is calling the biggest gap in MLB negotiating history, an estimated $250 million. The Tigers want to extend him, but they are $250 million apart. Because of this historic stalemate, Skubal is likely going to want out. CBS Sports' Mike Exissa noted that a middling Tigers offense could push them out of the race early, putting Skubal squarely on the trade block. Now, how do the Blue Jays fit into this? To get a balance of power player like Skubal, you have to give up premium talent. This brings us to our prospect watch. Recently, we saw the front office make some tough spring training cuts, sending highly touted guys like Arjun Nimala and Jonathan Clase down to the minors. Why did the team decide to send names like Nimala or Clase to the minors right now? Well, part of it is development. In my opinion, this prospect needs more time in Buffalo to refine his plate discipline against high-level breaking pitches. But the other, more strategic reason, showcasing and protecting trade assets. When you are negotiating for a $300 million arm like Skubal, the Tigers are going to ask for the farm. By keeping our top prospects healthy and getting them everyday reps in AAA Buffalo or AA New Hampshire, we are keeping their trade value at an absolute premium. Every Jays fan knows that our major league roster depth is currently a luxury. We have a logjam of talent, which is a great problem to have. But to win the AL East battle, you sometimes have to consolidate that depth into superstar, top-of-the-rotation talent. Trading a package centered around our top prospects for Skubal would hurt our future depth, yes, but it signals to the entire league that the Toronto Blue Jays are in a World Series or bust window right now. So, let's play GM for a second. Let's assume Ross Atkins and the front office pull the trigger and bring Tarik Skubal to Toronto. What does our strategic outlook and our lineup for opening day actually look like? Let's start with the rotation, because it is borderline unfair. The Blue Jays have already spent this offseason stacking the deck. We went out and got Dylan Cease, adding elite swing and miss stuff to the staff. Then, just a few weeks ago, we signed the future Hall of Famer himself, Max Scherzer, reuniting him with Cease. If you add Tarik Skubal to a rotation that already features Kevin Gausman, Dylan Cease, and Max Scherzer. I mean, are you kidding me? That is a rotation built for a deep October postseason push. You have Gausman's devastating splitter, Cease's overpowering slider, Scherzer's veteran bulldog mentality, and Skubal's elite, Cy Young winning left-handed dominance. In a short playoff series, nobody is beating that top four. Nobody. But it's not just about the pitching. Let's talk about the everyday lineup. We still have our core veterans leading the charge. George Springer is looking healthy and ready to set the tone at the top of the order. But the real X factor this year is the integration of our new faces, specifically the Japanese slugger Kazuma Okamoto. Bringing Okamoto over was a massive statement. He provides that middle-of-the-order right-handed power that we desperately needed to balance out the lineup. Imagine an opening day lineup where Springer gets on base, Bo Bichette moves him over, Vladdy drives him in, and then Okamoto steps up to clear the bases. It's a nightmare for opposing pitchers. If we have a rotation giving up 2 or fewer runs a game, this offense, anchored by veterans and explosive new international talent, is going to win 100 games easily. Now, let's take the temperature of the city. What is the media pulse right now? If you turn on Sportsnet or TSN today, it is wall-to-wall Skubal coverage. The Toronto media is absolutely eating this up. Analysts on Sportsnet are pointing out that the Blue Jays front office has been criticized in the past for being too conservative at the trade deadline. But this off-season, they are operating with a ruthless aggression that we haven't seen since the 2015 run. TSN's insiders are echoing the sentiment that while the prospect cost will be astronomical, flags fly forever. And what about the fans? Blue Jays Nation is buzzing. I've been reading your comments, scrolling through Twitter and Reddit, and the optimism for 2026 is incredibly real. Yes, there is some hesitation about taking on Skubal's massive future contract demands, especially with Vladdy and Bo's contract situations always looming in the background. But the general consensus is, go for it. Fans are tired of early playoff exits. They are tired of the AL East battle, ending with the Yankees or Orioles on top. Adding a guy who, as Mike Axisa wrote, can swing a division race or a postseason series all by himself, is exactly the kind of move that fills the Rogers Center to the brim every single night. The city is ready for a parade, so it's time for the verdict. Was stacking the rotation with Cease and Scherzer enough, or is trading for Tarik Skubal the right decision for the future of this team? Here is my take. You make the trade. 100 times out of 100, you make the trade. When you have a championship window, you don't just peek through it, you smash the glass. Skubal to Toronto would be costly, it would drain our farm system, but it is exactly what we need to become the undisputed favorites in the American League. You pair him with Cease, Gaussman and Scherzer, and you book your tickets for late October. But that's just my opinion, and I want to hear from the best fans in baseball. Do you think we should trade our top prospects for Tarik Skubal? Drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. If you are ready for opening day and believe this is our year, I want to see you comment, "Go Jays!" in the comment section right now. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on your Toronto Blue Jays. We are going to be covering every single pitch of this 2026 season. Until next time, keep flying high. Blue Jays Nation, I'll see you in the next video.